Formaji YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si barpor hona chaye k mary vaur engage ho jn our video ko ntk deken. The cafe was quiet. Sunlight spilled across the wooden tables. I sat alone, stirring my coffee slowly. The sound of the spoon against the cup echoed in the still air. I noticed her across the room. She was reading, her fingers tracing the pages. I looked away, pretending not to notice. Then I caught her glance. It was brief, almost invisible. But it made my stomach tighten. Every time I thought she was absorbed in her book, her eyes found mine again. A shiver ran down my spine. The room felt smaller, the walls closer. I could hear the clock ticking louder than usual. Her lips moved slightly, as if she whispered something only I could hear. I could not move, could not look away. Something about her gaze felt wrong. Not friendly, not curious, but heavy, knowing. The air grew colder, and the chatter of the cafe seemed distant. I reached for my cup, but my hands trembled. Suddenly, she stood, slowly, deliberately, and walked straight toward me. The shadows in the room stretched longer, swallowing the sunlight. I wanted to speak, but no words came. Her eyes locked on mine, unblinking, searching. I realized then that this was not a glance. It was a warning. I froze as she stopped just a step away. The air between us felt charged, heavy with something I could not name. I could feel my heartbeat in my throat, thumping loud enough that I feared she would hear it. Her gaze never left mine. It pierced through me, like she could see every secret I tried to hide. I tried to speak, but my mouth refused to move. The cafe felt alien. The usual warmth of the morning sunlight seemed sharp now, almost threatening. I noticed the way her shadow stretched across the floor, dark and unnatural. I wanted to stand, to back away, but my legs betrayed me. Then I heard it. A soft, deliberate whisper. Not from her lips, but inside my head. I shook my head violently, convinced I imagined it. But the whisper returned, louder this time. You cannot leave. I stumbled backward, my chair scraping against the wooden floor. People in the cafe continued their routines as if nothing was happening. No one seemed to notice. It was as though I had entered a world apart from reality. The smell of coffee and pastries turned acrid, like smoke in my nose. My skin prickled. I looked at her again. Her expression had shifted. It was no longer calm or curious. It was cold, calculating, empty. Her eyes seemed to absorb the light around her, turning the space between us darker. I wanted to run, but my body felt rooted to the floor. My phone vibrated in my pocket. I reached for it desperately, hoping for a lifeline. But the screen was black. No signal, no messages, nothing. A chill ran down my spine. Then I noticed movement in the corner of my vision. Shadows in the room flickered unnaturally. The cafe walls seemed to warp, elongating as if bending toward me. I blinked and rubbed my eyes, trying to force reality back into focus. She stepped closer. Each step echoed, though the cafe was quiet. I could hear my blood rushing in my ears. Why are you looking at me? I managed to whisper. Her lips did not move. The whisper returned, but louder this time, louder than my own thoughts. Because I saw you first. My stomach twisted. My throat tightened. A cold sweat broke out across my body. I realized she was no longer human. Her movements were too fluid, too precise, almost unnatural. The lights above flickered. I looked around. Everyone else was frozen. Not a single person moved. Time itself seemed to stall. She reached out a hand toward me. It was too pale, too thin, impossibly long. Her fingers stretched like shadows, twisting in ways that seemed wrong. I wanted to scream. I wanted to turn and run. But my body refused. I could only watch as she hovered closer. Her face tilted, studying me like a predator. You feel it too, she said, though her mouth did not move. My mind raced. I did not understand, could not comprehend what was happening. The whispers became a chorus, echoing from every corner. You cannot escape. You are mine. You always look, always watch, always notice. I clutched my head, desperate for silence. And then the cafe erupted in sound. Chairs clattering, cups breaking, people screaming, but none of them looked at me. None of them saw her. Only I could. Only I could hear her. The shadows around her twisted, forming shapes like grasping hands. Her eyes glowed faintly, and I felt my vision blur. I stumbled backward, hitting the table. Coffee spilled over my hands, hot but unnoticed. She smiled then, a slow, chilling smile. And the world shifted. The walls of the cafe melted into darkness. The sunlight vanished. The sound of the